Sometimes people test your confidence. You might not even notice it. These tests are quick. They are subtle. They happen in everyday conversations. They can come from colleagues. They can come from friends. They might even come from a stranger you just met. These small social probes are not always malicious, but they are always measuring something. They are gauging your self-assurance. They are gauging your conviction. They are gauging your place in the social hierarchy. It is a quiet, unspoken social gauntlet we all walk through. These tests appear simple on the surface. A slightly pointed question, an interruption that cuts you off mid-thought, a joke that has a little too much bite. But how you react tells a story. Your response broadcasts your level of self-possession. It signals to others how you expect to be treated. Understanding these moments is crucial. It is the first step toward navigating them successfully. Passing these tests is not about winning a fight. It is about quietly holding your ground. It is about showing, not telling, that you are comfortable in your own skin. Why does this matter so much? Because these tiny interactions set the tone for your relationships. They establish unspoken rules of engagement. When you consistently fail these subtle tests, you might find yourself being overlooked. One of the most common tests is the interruption. Imagine you are explaining an idea in a meeting. You are building your point, laying out the logic. Suddenly, a colleague jumps in. They might finish your sentence for you. They might give a slightly different conclusion. They might talk over you. They might raise their voice just enough to seize the conversational floor. This is not just poor manners. It can be a probe. The interrupter is subconsciously checking your resolve. The interrupter may consciously be checking your resolve. Will you trail off and surrender the space? Or will you hold your turn? The key is to respond without escalating the tension. Becoming louder or more aggressive turns it into a power struggle. Instead, a calm and persistent approach works best. Let them finish their brief interjection. Hold eye contact.
As I was saying,
Seamlessly continue your original point. Or hold up a hand in a gentle stop gesture.
I'd like to finish my thought.
Keep the tone neutral, not accusatory. This is a statement of fact, not a challenge. Another frequent test arrives disguised as humor. This is a joke with a sharp edge. It's framed as a light-hearted tease, but it pokes at a perceived weakness or at a past mistake. The group may laugh, expecting you to laugh along, but really, the joke is on you. The tester watches your reaction closely. Do you laugh nervously and shrink a little? That signals insecurity. Do you get angry and defensive? That looks brittle and fails the test. The confident response is quiet amusement and gentle redirection. Start with a small, knowing smile. It shows you get the subtext and aren't fazed. You don't need to laugh.
Offer a calm, brief reply. That's one way to see it. Interesting observation.
Then pivot the conversation to another topic. The barb didn't land. You acknowledged it without giving it power. You remain in control. A more direct form of testing is the challenge question. This is when someone openly casts doubt on your statement or your capabilities.
Are you sure that will work? We tried something similar before and it failed.
This can feel like a direct attack on your competence. The tester wants to see if you will become flustered. They are checking if you will backpedal on your idea or launch into a long, rambling defense. Both reactions signal a lack of deep-seated confidence. The best way to pass is with brevity and certainty. Avoid the trap of over-explaining. A long defensive monologue suggests you're trying to convince yourself. Instead, respond with a short, clear, evidence-based statement. Example, to, "Are you sure that will work?" A strong answer is, yes. The data from the pilot study supports this approach. Pause after you speak. Let the silence hang. That quiet moment underlines your confidence. It shows you've done your homework and don't need validation. Confidence is also tested through nonverbal cues. Body language is a silent battlefield. They might hold your gaze too long, an intimidating stare. They might cross their arms and lean back, a barrier of skepticism. They might lean in abruptly, invading your space to see if you recoil. These are subtle acts of dominance. They aim to make you feel unsteady, to see if you'll shrink. Your body language is your best defense. Maintain a steady, open posture. Keep your shoulders relaxed and back. Avoid crossing your arms. If someone is staring, meet their gaze calmly. Don't look away. Hold the gaze for a natural beat, then move on. If they lean in, do not lean back. Hold your ground. These small acts of self-possession say, you are centered, not easily pushed off balance. Right. Section 4. The psychology behind the test. Why we probe and poke. There are deep-seated psychological reasons why people test each other. It is a fundamental part of social psychology in any group setting. From the office to a circle of friends, people instinctively try to map the social landscape. They want to identify the informal leaders. They want to know who is calm under pressure, who is likely to crumble. These subtle tests are social data points. They help individuals quickly assess who has the composure and strength to guide the group, especially when challenges arise. It is a primal instinct for seeking stability. Another significant driver is the protection of one's own ego. Some people test others to make themselves feel safer or more powerful. This is often rooted in their own insecurity. By making you seem smaller, they momentarily feel bigger. If they can successfully challenge your idea, make you flustered with a pointed joke, they get a temporary boost to their self-esteem. It is a flawed strategy for feeling significant, but it is a common one. They are not necessarily trying to be cruel. They are often just trying to manage their own anxieties about their standing in the group. Fear can also be a powerful motivator for testing behavior. In personal relationships, a person might test a partner's commitment test, a partner's patience because they fear abandonment. They might push your buttons to see if you will stay. A colleague might challenge your new project because they fear the change it represents, how it might affect their own role. This kind of testing is less about dominance and more about a call for reassurance. They are probing your reaction to see if you are a stable and reliable presence in their lives. The test is a clumsy way of asking, "Are you with me?" Ultimately, these tests are all about gathering information. We are social creatures, constantly trying to understand the people around us. While some tests are born from insecurity, others are simply a way of figuring out where the boundaries are. People want to know what is acceptable behavior with you. How far can a joke go? How much can they interrupt? Your calm and consistent responses are not just about passing a single test. They are about teaching others how you expect to be treated in the long run. You are providing the data that helps them build an accurate and respectful map of their relationship with you. Section 5. Passing with poise. Your guide to calm confidence. The final lesson is this. Confidence is not loud. It does not need to announce itself. True self-assurance is a quiet and steady force. When faced with these subtle social tests, your goal should never be to win the argument, dominate the other person. Your goal is simply to maintain your own equilibrium. A calm voice is more powerful than a loud one. A brief, clear statement is more convincing than a long, defensive speech. Your composure is your greatest asset. It communicates that your sense of self is not up for debate. Remember that a single instance of an interruption or a sharp joke might be an accident. The key is to watch for patterns. When these small acts are repeated over time, they are almost certainly a test. Pay attention to the dissonance between words and tone. A joke that is delivered with a smile but contains a sting is a classic example. Trust your gut feeling. If an interaction leaves you feeling diminished or questioned, it is worth examining through this lens. Your own body will give you clues. A tensing in your shoulders, a knot in your stomach is a signal to pay closer attention. So, how can you practice this? Start with one small change. The next time someone interrupts you in a low-stakes conversation, make it a point to calmly finish your sentence. Do not raise your voice. Just pause, let them finish, then say, "Anyway, my point was," and continue. This small act of reclaiming your conversational space is a powerful exercise. Or, if a friend makes a teasing joke that stings, instead of laughing it off, offer a small, neutral smile, change the subject. Notice how this small shift changes the dynamic. Remember this core truth. Confidence is often tested before it is respected. These small social challenges are not obstacles to be feared.